Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. There's a new trend emerging online which people are referring to as anti-aging maxing. This is where people go to quite extreme lengths in order to maximize their anti-aging results. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all about the anti-aging. I've just hit 40, so this year I've really been focusing down on the ingredients and the products that can maximize collagen production, minimize fine lines and wrinkles. But I'm here to say you don't need to go to extremes, you don't need to go to invasive procedures in order to get next level results. And to prove that, in today's video, I want to share with you the 5 strongest anti-aging options that you can reach for over the counter at minimal expense in order to elevate your skincare routine. Sit back, relax, let's talk the world's strongest anti-aging. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my personal favorites, and these are all based on my own experiences as someone that's really been on an anti-aging journey themselves. However, I'd love to know your hot take on this. What are the products that have made the biggest difference when it comes to your own anti-aging, boosting your skin confidence, minimizing lines and wrinkles? Don't gatekeep them. Reach down into the comments section below and let me know. Here on Mad About Skin, you will never see a sponsorship or a paid partnership. I pride myself on my independence, speaking from the heart and never the wallet. So whilst I'm talking about my own favourites, know that this perspective comes from years of my own skincare journey rather than something that's been bought and paid for by a brand. And if you want to support me as a truly independent voice in the skincare community, the very best way of doing that is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So as I said, I just hit 40, and whilst I don't think there's ever like a prime age to be focusing down on anti-aging, I think if I had to pick one, 40 would probably be it. It's at this age where you start to see the first signs of aging. Might be an increase in hyperpigmentation, loss of firmness and elasticity, and the emergence of those fine lines and wrinkles. This definitely is something that I've experienced, and whilst I don't think this is something we should run from or be afraid of, I think there are definitely some effective treatments over the counter that can really counter that and in return boost your skin confidence. I've been on my own journey with anti-aging, but just know that these recommendations will honestly work no matter what age you happen to be. I don't think there's ever an upper limit of when anti-aging treatments will work. So whatever your age, we're here to celebrate the skin that we're in, and hopefully just boost everyone's skin confidence. And kind of in that vein, I would love to know if you wanted to share. Reach out into the comments section below and let me know your own age, if you feel comfortable doing so, and what products you found have worked really, really well for you. Like I say, here on Mad About Skin, we have a global community that really represent all age of the skincare spectrum. And I think it's just really empowering to hear other people's experiences. And yeah, so if you feel comfortable doing that, I would love, love, love to hear from you. Now, up first is high strength azelaic acid. Now, azelaic acid is phenomenal for anti-aging. It reduces hyperpigmentation, dark spots and discoloration, increases radiance and luminosity in the skin, and it also reduces redness and sensitivity, which can be caused by your other high-strength actives. So I genuinely think azelaic acid is a must for just about everyone out there. The strength that you go to, though, will determine the results that you see. Now, a lot of people reach for a 10% azelaic acid, which I think is fantastic. Mid-strength, works for just about everyone out there, and is really easy to access. But in 2026, it's now easier than ever before to access high-strength azelaic acid over the counter. I'm talking about 20% concentrations. Now, as you can see from this one, this is the one that I use. This is Skinnerin, which I think is the world's best-selling 20% azelaic acid, but I've recently started using this, which is Azelderm, which is actually a Turkish brand. I get this when I go on holiday to Turkey, and I actually think this probably works better. Whilst both of these are 20%, I think the base formula and the slightly lower pH of this means I just get quicker and more advanced results. Now, 20% azelaic acid is where it's at, and if you're watching this from the majority of Europe, the Middle East, certain Australasian countries, you'll be able to pick this up over the counter. Walk into a pharmacy, pick up a 20% azelaic acid, no questions asked. If you're watching this from North America or certain countries in Europe, you might still need to do an online consultation or import it from a country where it is over the counter. Rules and regulations vary depending on where in the world you live, but high strength azelaic acid is honestly going to be the strongest, most game-changing of the skincare ingredients you can include in your anti-aging routine. Now, if you can use a 20% azelaic acid twice a day, that's where you get those game-changing results. But not everybody can. I'm one of those people that can't. I get too much side effects and irritation. So What I do is I use my high strength azelaic acid on an evening. Then on the morning, I'll use 10% azelaic acid. This is from my own line. This is the Mad About Skin Dual Action Dark Spot Serum. So super potent 10% azelaic acid with tranexamic acid to boost the results that you're going to see. This really does pack a punch, but it's going to cause less sensitivity and side effects than say a 20% option. So I use this on an evening, this on a morning. Absolute match made in heaven. Now, if you did want to go for 10% morning and evening, that's also absolutely fine. Do what works for you and what aligns with your skin and how accessible these various products are. This one's available internationally. This one will depend where in the world you happen to live. But yes, if you can use a high strength azelaic acid twice a day, honestly, I think that's going to be the biggest change you make to your anti-aging skincare routine. So up next, let's talk about multi-level plumping serums. The days of hyaluronic acid are over. That's very 2020, where we all reach for a hyaluronic acid serum. In 2026, we should demand more, and actually our skin needs more. If you reach for a hyaluronic acid serum, use it up and then don't repurchase it, because actually what your skin could benefit from is a multi-active, multi-level hydrating serum. These work instantly, so if you're someone that wants those quick wins, you don't want to wait around for the long-term results you need to see from like azelaic acid or retinoids. You want a quick win today. A multi-level hydrating serum is going to give you those immediate quick wins, taking like 5 years off the age profile of the skin in a flash. And it does so by plumping out the skin, which is going to immediately reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and just give like a juicy, glowy look to the complexion, which I personally absolutely love. There are loads of different ones out there, but you really want to reach for a serum that has multiple different actives, not just hyaluronic acid. Look for things that has like beta-glucan, polyglutamic acid, ectoin, allantoin, all these great plumping, hydrating, and calming ingredients that are going to come together to give you the very best immediate results. Now, for the longest time, I reached for this, which I think is my personal favorite, the Allies of Skin beta-glucan and resveratrol advanced hydrating serum. Advanced is in the title, and honestly, I think this is the most advanced plumping serum you are ever going to find. If your budget stretches to Allies of Skin, and I do have a 20% discount code for this, I should have said, down in the description box below, so that will bring the price down. But if you can reach to the price point of this, honestly, you will get the best results. Drenching you in hydration, plumping out those fine lines and wrinkles, and just giving you the nicest finish to the skin. Also acts really well as a primer if you put makeup on top of it. It will just have the most seamless application. I love this, absolutely phenomenal, but not for everyone's budget. And recently, like a more affordable option hit the market from Remedy. This is the Remedy for Intense Hydration. This is a multi-depth moisture advanced hydrating serum. That's a lot of words, but I think it captures effectively what it does. Multiple different actives do multi-level, multi-depth hydration, which is going to give you a much more comprehensive plumping result than you would ever get from just a hyaluronic acid serum. This doesn't break the bank, and it's really, really nice. It comes in gel form. You can keep this in the fridge for cooling, and like I say, you just work it into the skin, and you just get all of that hydration. You get that plumping, the calming, the soothing, and it's a really nice, affordable price point. I was really impressed with this when I first tried it, but I think the secret to this is that multi-active approach, like we see in the Allies of Skin one. If you're still using a hyaluronic acid serum, finish it up. Don't repurchase it. Swap to one of these, and trust me, you will get the plumping you have always wanted, whilst you can also, if you go with the Remedy one, keep it super budget friendly and affordable. Now, when most people think strongest anti-aging, I might as well naturally go to retinoid, which honestly is one of the best prescription strength retinoids that you can reach for. Again, in keeping with that azelaic acid that I referenced earlier, you can now actually get retinoid over the counter in a lot more countries than you used to be able to, which is great, but still in the majority of the world, you will have to get a prescription to access it. The same goes for its sister, tazarotene, tazarotene, both amazing. I know there's some debate online as to which is better in terms of results. Personally, I think tazarotene probably just pips tretinoin in terms of outcomes and results, and I find it less sensitizing. So these are the strongest, but you can actually go for high potency retinal over the counter. And this really has changed in the past couple of years. When it came to retinal, previously we were really restricted in the strengths that we had, but now you can get really high strength options. And my personal favorite is the Medicate Crystal Retinal 24. This is actually 20% stronger than the previous strongest retinal. So this really has like stepped it up in terms of results, and you're going to get some next level anti-aging, skin smoothing, and pro collagen benefits from this one. I absolutely love it, and whilst I still think a lot of people are going to want to reach for tazarotene and tretinoin, If you can't get it without a prescription, you want the ease of over-the-counter, that Medicate Crystal Retinol 24 is absolute perfection. Now, fourth on this list is a bit of a curveball, because when we're talking strongest anti-aging, most people's minds wouldn't go to bakuchiol, which is often seen as the most gentle alternative to retinoids for people that generally can't tolerate them on their skin. So bakuchiol is often seen as like the super gentle option, not the strongest. But it's how you use it that really makes a difference. And so I want to give you a little quick hack. If you're somebody that's already an established retinoid user, you might be using tretinoin, tazarotene, that amazing Medicate retinol that I just referenced. You might have these in your routine already. Use bakuchiol alongside them to just dial up the results a little bit further. The reason I say that this works so well is because when it comes to anti-aging, bakuchiol works in a similar way, but in a different way to retinoids. So you can use them together. It will enhance the results that you see, but you're safe to use them with your other retinoids without triggering side effects and sensitivity. So this is a really smart way of leveling up the results without also dialing up side effects, irritation, sensitivity. I definitely do this now in a way that I didn't previously. I think this has made such a difference. There was a recent study that showed if you use bakuchiol alongside tretinoin, you can actually increase the results that you see by, on average, 7%. That 7% might not seem game-changing, but if you've kind of plateaued with your retinoid results and you want to take them up a notch further, 7% is actually quite a significant gain, and you can do that by incorporating bakuchiol. Now, most people will use it twice a day, morning and evening, but you can use it just once a day if you don't want to add too many new steps to either routine. The one that I reach for is the Medicate bakuchiol peptides, because this has a really good dose of that bakuchiol alongside other great peptides, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1. This works really well for me. However, there are some more affordable options on the market, and I'm going to list some of my other bakuchiol favorites down in the description box below. So if you want to click on those links and explore the different prices of different products where you live, I think that's a really great way of like exploring the market. Bakuchiol might be seen as the gentle alternative to retinoids, but don't let that fool you. If you use it alongside your existing retinoid, whichever one you reach for, you could get 7% more results when it comes to anti-aging without all the additional side effects and irritation. This just seems like a really smart move. I'll put out one caution, say if you're new to retinoids, maybe you've just started tretinoin, you've just started tazarotene, I probably wouldn't, use the bakuchiol straight away. Give the skin a good 3 or 4 months to become accustomed to your retinoid, then add it in. I think that's just a good practice to minimize side effects. But yeah, definitely when it comes to potent anti-aging, don't overlook the added benefits that bakuchiol can bring using on top of it your existing retinoid. This has worked great for me, and it's a cheeky little hack that I think hopefully we'll see a little bit more of in 2026, because it's a great way of leveling things up. Now, last but by no means least on this list, let's talk pore minimizing. Now, when we talk anti-aging, most people think reducing fine lines and wrinkles, fading hyperpigmentation, plumping the skin. We've covered all of these so far. But actually, one of the biggest insecurities that people have or report having as they age is the visible appearance of their pores. My pores have definitely got larger as I've aged. They were pretty insignificant when I was in my teens and 20s, and I have quite visible pores on my nose and on the side of my nose here. This is for a whole host of reasons. A reduction in collagen over time can make the pores more visible, damage to the pore wall as a result of, clogged pores, sun damage, a whole host of things. This is something everyone experiences, but if you're looking to shrink the appearance of your pores, there are a couple of products that actually work, and two that I recommend to everyone are these two. So this is the Skin 1004 Pore Mising Fresh Ampule. Uses peptides to minimize the appearance of the pores by gently increasing the amount of collagen in these areas and also helping to unclog them, remove some of the blackheads and sebaceous filaments that can make them appear more enlarged in the first place. This works really well, and I've been using this for the past 4 years. But in the last 6 months, I've actually switched to this. This is the Frankly Closer Pore Reducing Serum. It's actually a Korean brand, like with Skin 1004. But I think the formula of this is just better. Now, the reason I say this is it contains 9 peptides, all specifically chosen for their ability to boost collagen, reinforce those pore walls, which is the #1 way we can minimize that overall appearance. But you also have a great range of amino acids in here, which are going to further enhance that collagen production, and polyhydroxy acids. Now, polyhydroxy acids are studied and well understood to be one of the most effective ways of reducing sebaceous filaments, those little plugs that sit inside our pore and can stretch them out. Polyhydroxy acids are super gentle, so you can use them every single day, twice a day if you want, meaning a product like this, I think is just leveled up versus the Skin 1004. Now, you can use either of these, but consistency is key. Apply them to the affected areas. For me, this is the chin, side of the nose, and the nose itself, twice a day. Within about 4 weeks, you're going to see a visible reduction in the size of your pores, and that for me has been a little game changer, because anti-aging isn't always about reducing fine lines and wrinkles. Sometimes it's about those other aspects like reducing our pore size that can add greatly to our skin confidence with just one additional product. This has made the biggest difference to me, and again, I'm going to list and link this one down in the description box below because there's multiple different sources of where you can buy it. But yeah, definitely look into pore minimizing if that's an area of concern for you with aging. So there you have it. What my take is on anti-aging maxing: doesn't need invasive office treatments that cost the earth and have a lot of downtime associated with them. Sometimes the best products are available over the counter. You can make a couple of quick switches and see some next level results. You know, maybe increasing the strength of the azelaic acid that you reach for, looking into some of the higher strength retinoid options, or just ditching that hyaluronic acid and opting for something that has a more multi-dimensional plumping action. These are all going to make really big differences to your anti-aging skincare routine without breaking the bank or causing too much side effects and irritation. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Like I say, I've just hit 40. I'm all about the anti-aging, but I think here on Mad About Skin, we can celebrate our skin no matter what age we happen to be, and hopefully this just helps you on your own anti-aging journey. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.